great pleasure today to unveil an existing new partnership between Essendon Football Club and Fujitsu General. I'm thrilled to announce Fujitsu General has joined the Bombers as our new co-major partner for the next 4 years. As part of the new sponsorship agreement, the famous Fujitsu General logo will be displayed on the front of the Bombers jumper for home matches and on the back of the jumper for away matches. As chairman of the Essendon Football Club, I'd like to officially welcome Fujitsu General to the Essendon family.
Mark, we're going to start with you. Great to be back on the footy field and training again for next season.
Yeah, we're all excited. We're very happy to be at this facility. We've never afforded this luxury that we've had. We can do all our training in one place. So we're very, very excited about the year ahead.
How's it been the last couple of weeks? Have you enjoyed it more or less?
I've absolutely loved it. I've just been on holidays in Vietnam.
Is this your first day back actually on training?
Third day.
Third day. How's it been the last 3 days?
Well, it's the first time I've walked into this facility as a workplace, and it's just exciting. People are refreshed. You're face to face with all the people you work with, and the other place we worked at, we didn't see them. We're so split up and divided. So this place is only going to help the football club be a better club.
Well, we've had to reconcile yourself with the events and just move on. You're very angry towards the end of the dramas. If you just had to put that behind you to construct it as an reporter.
Yes. No, that's happened. We're looking at the present, we're looking at the future, and we're going to do a lot of things right. We're going to try and be the best football club that we can be. We've got great sponsors here. We're going to try and look after them. We're going to look after our fans, and we're going to provide the best services for our players that we possibly can to be a great club.
How important is this sponsorship given everything that's happened?
I think it speaks volumes of not just Fujitsu, but the Essendon Footy Club. We are a big club. We're a popular club, and we shouldn't take advantage of that. We should just have good sponsors and have great relationships with them and try and be a good club to everybody.
How have your members responded to the move? I mean, will game days and stuff be down here now? And are they happy about that?
So who, sorry?
The members or the fans?
Well, we're going to have a big opening at the club where all our members can come in. We won't have that many closed sessions. We're going to try and invite our members in and give them and just try and restore a bit of faith back in us and give them a better experience than they've had in the past. So we have to be committed to that. We have to just make them happy and make them love the footy club, make them proud of our club.
With all respect to the old venue, Mark, I think you're probably one of the last clubs to sort of really upgrade to brand new sports facilities. What benefit do you think the club, the players will gain out of being at a place like this for season 2014 and beyond?
Well, it's not everything, but when you're training at different ovals, different venues, and you leave that and have to drive back to do your recovery and go to another place to swim, it's really difficult. We trained on this oval last year and got changed in a bar up the road and still had some fantastic results. So under the one roof in this facility we can do everything, and you guys will have a look at it later hopefully and you'll be pleasantly surprised at how good this facility will be.
What are your aspirations for this year on the field? Like, is it realistic to aim for a flag?
With more experience in that, Rowan. We're going to try and just do things right. We're not putting expectations on, we're not putting limitations either. We're going to try and be the best we can be. More importantly, we're going to try and do things right.
Have you got the majority of the list available to start training on time?
What's it?
The majority of the list, majority of the players ready?
Oh yeah, no, we're in good shape. We've had operations, post-season operations like most clubs, but they haven't been serious. So we'll have probably about 95% of the squad when the old boys are still away. They come back on Monday and we'll just jump straight into training and we'll be in good shape.
Hurley and Heppel are ones that we've heard about having post-season surgery. When do you expect them to be in full training?
Hurls is here, I think. He's running, so they'll be back training straight away. We're pretty healthy.
There's a bit of excitement about Paul Chapman among the players and the coaching staff.
Yes, I'm excited. I love the little chappie. And he'll help the footy club. It's just having like Brendan Goddard come in and and just pass on his experiences and his knowledge to a young list was invaluable. He had a great year and he was very good for us. And Chappie will just be another little dimension to that. Chappie, he stays fit, he'll kick goals and he'll help us be a better club.
Have you had to have done anything over the last couple of months to just reacquaint yourself with senior coaching again? Is there anything differently or anything like that?
Not really. I've been just working harder. Yeah. No, I know the intricacies of the club. I knew where our deficiencies were, and I've spent 3 years just reflecting on how I've done things, and I've documented it. And I'm really clear now that you know, taking back up, it'll be pretty easy, really, just jumping back into the seat.
Paul Roos, after he was a player, wrote down all the things he wanted to do as a coach. After Geelong, do you reflect on those things, or chart those things, and what you could do better?
Oh, for sure. It's just about like capturing, and you know, a lot of what you do is so instinctive, and it's you don't write it down. And I've spent a couple of years writing it all down, and it's a good document. You know, it's because we were a successful club, so hope the club uses it. Hope we do things right. We've got a great opportunity here, and I'm pretty confident we'll do it.
More reports over the weekend, Bomber. How confident are you that the troubles are past and nothing more will come up?
Well, we can't be certain, but we're not spending much time thinking about it. We're thinking about just our training, getting this place operationally effective and efficient, getting the players back and getting them fit, getting them playing better football, and having a good year. We can't spend too much time looking backwards.
Can I throw that one to you, Paul, about the sort of persistent reports that players will receive infraction notices? I mean, are you comfortable with that won't happen? Are you anxious? And secondly, how do you feel about the officials of those bodies that continue to sort of fan the flames?
Look, I think it's fair to say that you would never say never. However, in discussions we've had with the various authorities that are at the centre of this issue, they've given me a level of confidence that that it is unlikely, and we're just based on that. We're looking forward, as Mark said. We can spend a lot of time worrying about things that haven't happened. We'd rather be putting our time and energy into what needs to happen going forward. And look, the people that continually bring it up and fan the flames, to use your expression, that's clearly driven by other motives. I don't think they understand, nor do they really care too much about us. However, my view is at the moment we can't do any more than we've done, and we must now look forward and plan for the future.
When they say confidence that it's unlikely, have they given you any time frame whatsoever?
Well, I think unlikely means unlikely, and you know, you don't know what new information may be forthcoming at some stage in the future. And I guess based on what everyone knows at the moment, we're comfortable that there shouldn't be any problems. However, there could be new information, but I think the reference in the press at the weekend that there are infraction notices on the way is simply incorrect. The AFL know nothing about that, we don't know anything about that, and I'm not concerned about that at this point in time.
Paul, you said you were in contact with various authorities. Does that include ASADA itself? Is that what you're referring to?
Look, the government, ASADA, the AFL are probably the key bodies that impact us directly. WADA, I guess, to some extent, but we haven't had any contact there. So I think there are a number of vested interests in this, and clearly we try and stay close to all of them.
Just on the sponsorship, how important was it to get that, and were there any moments to both of you over the last year that you've been in contact that it wasn't going to go ahead because of everything happening?
Well, I need to ask Philip about that. I guess from my point of view, it's been very much work in progress, and clearly it wasn't an on-again, off-again situation. As Philip mentioned during his presentation, he had existing commitments that he had to be honour, and they've only just finished. No, I think from our point of view, it was the two organisations getting to know each other, to trust each other, and Philip's the best one to talk about his due diligence, I guess.
Yeah, from that perspective, it was important for us to understand how the club was handling and what procedures they put in place. So that was really our key focus about how they were dealing with the issue. It wasn't really an impediment to any discussions going on. We had existing relationships with Gary that needed to transpire. As a business, we had already made some decisions about which direction we were wanting to go, and of that, one of them was AFL and the Essendon Football Club. So we're very comfortable with the decision that was made and the openness and honesty and integrity of the team that we've been dealing with here at Essendon Footy Club.
Well, that little vignette was all about we are proudly Essendon. How much is that a big part of your role this year? You want to win a flag, etc., but you want to restore some pride to a footy club that's fallen on some tough times?
Absolutely, John. Yeah, it's really important that we restore the faith and respect. A lot of people are so close to this football club. It's like their family, it's their association, it's tradition. So for them to lose any 1% of respect for us, it hurts all of us. So we have to give our time and our efforts and make them happy again about their club.
Have you been able to keep your head high? I know you were saying earlier, like this year, that you would struggle at times, but have you been able to move on from that?
Yeah, I think it's most people, they deal with stuff in their lives, and that's something I have to deal with. I've dealt with it. I'm excited about the future. I can't wait to see our players training on this oval and the indoor facility and the pool, and seeing how it all functions and how we can provide a great service for our players, which in turn will provide a great service for our sponsors and for our members and for football in general. That's where we deserve to be. That's where we want to take this football club back to.
There's reports today too, Bomber Tom Belchanes apparently didn't pay a bill at a restaurant. How seriously does the club take this incident?
Oh, we take it serious, and we know all the facts, and even though it's an unfortunate thing to happen, there wasn't much in it. I got paid, I've filled my car with petrol and driven away without paying the bill. So that's all been handled. It shouldn't have happened. We're not happy, but there was no intent. I think he'd been at the restaurant, knew the owner, eaten there a lot of times, so it's not a big issue.
Has that money been paid back to the restaurant now?
Yes.
Did you go back and pay your petrol bill?
I did. Have you done it, Rob?
No.
Tip forward line is Hurley has to play forward, probably now given a couple of the blokes that have left. But you got firepower, enough firepower?
We've got, look, our list is quite strong. We're a touch young, but our young players have shown that they can play, that we can teach them to play. Where Hurls plays, I think he's a natural defender, but it's not just my call, believe it or not. It's a whole group of people. I see him as just a fantastic backman. Anywhere he plays, he's a good player.
And you couldn't quite talk Stewie Cramery around?
No, we tried. We don't, honestly, no club likes losing players they want to keep. And that was unfortunate. And hopefully our club's strong enough in the future that no players ever want to leave for just a little bit more money.
Just on the brand, do you need to rebuild it or just restore it?
Just restore it. No, there's nothing wrong with our brand. We're a club full of good people, and players are good people, so we just got to get back and stay on task and just do things better.
Just looking ahead to the draft next week, if Doug Garlick's still available at 26, is he the type of player that you think could recruit him?
Not sure. Yeah, he is. Like, there's a lot of good players out there. We don't have a pick until 26, and the next one's at 50-something. So, we've got two players. We'll probably pick a young ruckman. I don't think he can play in the ruck.
And Paul, the CEO role, how close is that to being finalised?
There's a thorough search underway, and Ray's a very hard person to replace. There's a lot of initiatives underway inside the club, so we think it's important the new CEO take ownership of a number of those initiatives. Look, I would be very hopeful that either late this calendar year or early next calendar year we'll have the new CEO in place.
And just on James, have you been able to support him, Paul? I'm not sure whether he needs that as well, but obviously he's away from the club for the season. But types of things you will do to help him out.
I'm not quite sure what you've got in mind.
I don't know, he probably doesn't need counselling, but he is an Essendon person.
Oh, look, James, he absolutely is, and a very loyal one, and the club is very conscious of James not just surviving 2014, but actually coming back a stronger coach. And to that extent, there are a number of initiatives underway now with James, and I think he will certainly be a different person when you see him at the end of the 2014 season. So, no, there are certain requirements in place the AFL have stipulated in relation to how we can interact with James, and we'll honour those. But importantly, James will come back, and he'll come back stronger and better for the experience.
Bomber, you nodded your head there, Bomber. You know, he's in a good place, is he, James?
I haven't spoken to him for a while, but he'll get through this.
Paul, how stringent are those regulations? Like, what sort of contact is the club allowed to have with James?
Look, I think it's fair to say that there's to be no official role of James with the club during his suspension period, and we will honour that. That's difficult for the club and difficult for James, but as Mark said, he'll get through it. He's a strong person.